And then I'm going to agree to the reforms. Oh, we can also get Age of Reason now, which puts us on the path to better technology. And also gets rid of the backwards economy. That would be really nice to have. Oh, but to get expand research capacity, we also need to have these two. So this is a long way away. Oh, there's steel. Okay, so there is steel available. We're going to agree to the proposed reforms, then go to unite the princes. The Nizam has accepted the Princely Council's plan, though there remains a question as to just how far the intended reforms will go. Some are expressing concern that the Nizam may intend to go even further than the prince's desire, setting up the nation for a possibly democratic... No. Who do you think I am? Okay, so at this point, we can choose one of these. I don't think we want to go up in stability. That wouldn't make sense. Or we just save political power for when things inevitably start going bad. Let's save some. Italy is a joke country that needs to bow to the authority of the papacy. They kind of have in this. Well, half of them have. Riots and protests at Rangoon University. Dissatisfaction with the lack of popular involvement in government has sparked some of the greatest demonstrations in Burma since their own independence in 1926. Stemming from the great and prestigious Rangoon University, radicalized leftist students have occupied several administrative buildings and held rallies denouncing the monarchy and its feudal backers as being corrupt and detrimental to the welfare of the Union. Still, the demonstrators haven't managed to garner the support of the industrial workers and rural farmers, restricting the budding movement to the Burmese intelligentsia. So Burma, do you have your own tree? Burma does not have its own tree. Japan, have you changed your tree at all, or is it still kind of rubbish? Nope, still the same. I meant just the Kodaha faction tree, because it is horrifically underpowered in so many ways that are not even funny. Yeah, France really is a syndicalism. It's an actual syndicalism. They're just not quite so radical about it. And for a while, Britain was kind of teetering on the edge of becoming a syndicalism, but it certainly isn't anymore. Of the different political ones, I would say that Britain's probably market liberal. They're leaning more and more to the right. They're not quite social conservative, but they're close to it. In fact, no, right now, Britain's an authoritarian democracy under Theresa May, who's just going, let's screw up the country, yay! Can't stand her. The temple entry proclamation, coinciding with the 25th birthday, the young Maharaja of Travancore Kohin, Sri Chitira Thirunal Balarama Varma, has today proclaimed an edict facilitating the end of the ban on the low-caste Hindus, also known as Avarnas, entering the state's many temples. The edict and its author have been held by progressives throughout the southernmost princely state, and a great deal of others for the humane and magnanimous act of uplifting the deprived and struggling towards a greater self-esteem and communal respect. However, a great deal of the more conservative Hindu landlords and nawabs throughout the Federation are disgruntled at this sudden leap of modernity, fearing their control over the less fortunate might slip away amid such edicts of equality. For now, though, the legal changes remain confined to the princely state of Travancore Cochin. Gain even more political power. You're just giving me political power here. And it would be really rude of us not to take Braithwaite and Co. I think there's enough of a surplus there to make use of it. Are you guys trained yet? No, you're not actually. And we do have enough power that we could go and upgrade stuff. I really want to convert these guys to infantry too, but we don't have any artillery. But we produce a bucket load of tungsten. So therefore I am wondering if we want to have a very artillery orientated army. I mean, yes, we have a lot of manpower and that could just be more divisions. But we could go with a lot of guns. Which would kind of go against... Oh, where is it? mass assault. That would be more grand battle plan, or even superior firepower, which I still just don't rate. I mean, this would do a lot of damage. We would go with dispersed support. Yeah, that's the one that we would go with. Line artillery plus 10% soft attacks. We would have a fair amount of line artillery there. And then shock and awe. So we would just do a silly amount of manpower damage to our enemies. Like a seriously silly amount. But we'll be fighting nations with a lot of manpower too. So I think Grand Battle Plan would probably be the best one. We'll just go with infiltration, so we go for the more infantry orientated. Or if we went with this, we could go deep battle, I guess. We do get some more combat width, so we can squeeze more troops in the line. No, I think that we are going to go with mass. And that'll just mean that we can squeeze even more artillery into our lines. Yeah, we'll go mass assault when it's time to change. What are my conscription laws? It's still volunteer. 1.1 million troops, and we're on volunteer. It's really quite disgusting. But we are India without the effects of famine and without the stupid effects of a puppet India in Hearts of Iron 4 Vanilla, where they have apparently like 1,000 men who will actually fight. Okay, so we're slowly overcoming our deficit in terms of... Oh, we do have one artillery unit. Do we want to start making artillery? I mean, the other thing we could do is rocket artillery, which has even more soft attack. Part of the question there is whether rocket artillery counts as dispersed assault. No, I would say no. But we could use rocket artillery. The benefit with those is they cost less steel. Yeah, and I'm only a third of India. There's a lot of people in India. Who'd have thunk it? Here we go. Osman agrees to the council's proposal. The rulers of the Council of Princes were clearly pleased today, as Osman Ali Khan, the Nizam of Hyderabad, agreed to their reforms, at least in principle. The power of the council will be consolidated into the position of a national diwan, and some of the Nazim's own power transferred to that position, although who will hold it remains a question. Will it be held by one of the princes or thrown open to a national election? There are also some who say that the council itself should be reformed, and the requirements for sitting upon it loosened, a radical idea that would transform the princely federation into a constitutional democracy, if the Nizam were to agree to it, and even more political power. You're being too generous. New Council of Princes, which means decentralized rule becomes renewed loyalties, with reduction in daily political power cost, increase in national unity to 60%, and division recovery rate reduction. I think we'll go with the new Council of Princes. The details on the reforms of the council have been decided, and its power will largely be transferred to a national diwan who serves at the behest of the Nizam. The princely states appear pleased with this result, although there remains a question as to whether only a prince can serve on the diwan or whether the position will be open to a popular election. And we can once again modify the government, but I'm going to wait on that. Just do a rush or offensive, 5 men per gun. Yeah, certainly could. I think we're going to go mass assault, though. We're going to go with really big blocks of troops, which will use a ton of manpower and a ton of supply, which is going to be fun when fighting through the Himalayas. But with the reduced combat width. Oh, it's only infantry combat width. It's not army combat width. But still 0.4, which means you could have a full block or 40% more infantry just generally. No, let's do it. Mass Assault Doctrine. We get more reinforce rate and we get minimum training level minus 10%. Which means we can throw men out faster. Yeah, go with rockets. That's what I was considering because they are so much cheaper. We are 1st of December 36, so let's wait until 37. There we go. And start on new construction and some more concentrated industry. And improve the quality of the guns we are producing. Right. How is the construction going here? We're on the last bit of infrastructure. Let's increase everyone to level 6. And then I need to take a look at this. So that gets Hyderabad and Bombay to Andhra, Mysore, Travancore and Madurai. So everyone's going to get 2 more infrastructure for free. So we need to get up to 8. And then the rest is free. Do I have a navy? No, I don't. I don't have an air force either. And interestingly, the naval technologies are actually hidden behind the industrial ones. So you have to industrialize before you can even start working on the naval bonuses. Our ideology has grown. Due to popular policies, one of our loyal ministers has managed to strengthen our ideology with some additional influence. We could use this to increase our popularity. Yeah, please do. This is different to the popularity is rising, because I didn't have to say, our popularity is rising. This is cheaper as well. It's only 25 political power, but for less of a change in popularity. I'll take it. Up to 44%. So we're no longer in danger of sinking down anyway. Seek foreign investments reduces the effects of backwards economy. Yes, I know. Oh, America. Now here we go. American Union Civil War has started. So we can take a look at the American stuff. So a new economy gets rid of the backwards economy stuff. Seek foreign investments. I'm not even seeing that one. All I know is down this tray, but you also need to have these two to get that one. Right, America, let's have a look. This, of course, being one of the big changes in the mod. The American focuses. So this is the Combined Syndicates of America. Their tree is pretty freaking huge. Not quite up there with... Oh, no, actually. I would say it's pretty close to Russia. This thing is massive. People's Liberation Army, Air Force, Fighting Women, Syndicalist Propaganda. Fire the guns! The People's Rangers. Recon Company Reconnaissance plus 100%. Wow. Research bonus for Mountain Infantry. Airborne. Air Force. Navy. Not the hugest Navy thing. War Syndicalism. This is their industrial and political reforms. Planned economy, syndicalist economy. You have to make a choice though. Nationalisation, entice the bourgeoisie, or unions take over. So it's pure syndicalism. Radical socialism, I assume. And totalism. Second Constitutional Convention, centralised union, federalist victory, unionist victory. So syndicalism, radical socialism, or totalism. And then their international stuff. Paris Summit with a Mexican flag, so that's meddling in the Mexican stuff. Second Mexican-American War, Mexican-American friendship, so you can go to war with them. I assume the Civil War needs to be over. Yes, it does. Second American Civil War is over. Likewise with that one. And the Second American Revolution started by an event. Ooh, Reconstructing America. Civil War is over, so you have a whole bunch of industrial things here. Huh, I kind of like that. That's cool. Alright, that's them done. American Union State. Let's have a look at yours. Oh, it's much the same. No, it's not. It's just the Second American Revolution. Gotcha. Building the military. Naval. Many more naval options. Far fewer land troops, though. Air Force looks about the same. Economics of war. So their industry is more powerful, or more important to them. And it's not mixed in with politics. In fact, did the Syndicalists have any industrial options in the war period? Yeah, the war syndicalism. Okay, it's the same. It's just not mixed in with politics in quite the same way. Long's Republic, Jim Crow's America. So whether you're segregationalist or not. New Constitution, Long Doctrine. This is your diplomatic efforts again. Going after the Internationale, going after New England, Southwest, Hawaii, Pacific. Mexican intervention, Panama, Dominica, Cuba. Reconstruction policies, post-war again. The United States probably has a new one as well. They do. 1936 election, so that's probably what kind of dictates how things are going to go. They've gone with President Curtis. So, Reed, he basically become the communists, I guess. Long, he basically become the Union State. I wonder if that still splits out a United States. It just means that you flip country tag. Don't know. General MacArthur is an event. So I guess that's when the junta takes over. So I assume in the election, he either takes over or you get one of these guys. Protector of democracy. Declare martial law. The US Army. Quite a few army options there. Navy, roughly the same as the Union State. US Air Force. American war economy. Only once the Civil War is over. Or you can go with the Fair Deal. So the Fair Deal is like the New Deal, but for America. And then reconstructing America post-war. Very cool. I kind of want to see the Pacific states though. That's the one that interests me. And New England would be cool to see. So I'm going to just watch over here. Although I probably need to move some of you guys. I do. Let's do that real quick. Combined syndicates has declared war on the United States. Second American Civil War. To uneducated foreigners, it might seem like the crisis in the United States happened out of nowhere. But experts agree that this was a civil war years in the making. Ever since the collapse of the New York Stock Exchange in 1929, the economy of the United States has been in constant downturn. They still split, Mordred Viking, okay. Cool, there we go. This is the one I want to see. Enhancing our prosperity. So they just continue with making money. Army of the Pacific. Our offensive defenses. Fighting for California. Californian Rangers, much the same as the Unionist guys. Pacific Navy. Doesn't look as wide, but I actually think this is probably more options. Like the Pacific tends to have a huge navy. Pacific Air Force, much the same. Beacon of democracy. New nationalism. Recruitable population increase. Yeah, that's useful for them. Join the Entente, join Mitteleuropa, join Co-Prosperity Sphere, or American Autonomy. So they have more influence on international affairs than the others do, which is interesting. They don't have a post-American rebuilding. So they not as fleshed out, I would say, as the others, although they do have this nice foreign policy area. So they can be more overtly interested in diplomacy than the other factions. And then it's just New England, which just absorbed them. Syndicalists take over in the Netherlands. Events in the Netherlands have reached the boiling point, and socialists have stormed the capital with British and French equipment and volunteers. Pacific states go to war. Democracy prevails in the Philippines. We'll see if this is still broken or not. Come on, spit out New England. Give them independence. You should play as the Titans, Syndicalist, America, Princely, Federation, the Ottomans. And the Ottomans? Oh, I see. Spread out that way. We certainly have plans for Kaiserreich as the Titans game. We could have been recording it today, but I'm still a little bit worried about just how stable this is. So we're giving them a week and we'll be recording it hopefully next Tuesday. I'm not going to announce who we're playing as yet though, because we're still thinking about that. New England National Guard, building our economy. Okay, actually they have quite a lot of stuff. Policy in the Entente, Canadian friendship, ties with the Pacific states, friendship with the Irish, trade with the Irish, birthplace of democracy. New England towns, some pretty good ones here. That is if they can retain their independence, of course. Jolly good. And I assume you are a Entente puppet? Yes, you are. Alright, marvellous. So yeah, America is definitely very much improved in this. Yeah, there are various Titan series. So it started as the Clash of the Titans, which was Europa Universalis 4. France versus England versus Spain, which was really tense and really good. And oh my gosh, that came close to being lost a couple of times, then came back, and then it was a roller coaster. It was definitely a roller coaster. Probably some of the best EU4 I've ever played. It was fantastic. Just because the rules were that you have to be rivals with the other two. You have to. So you're constantly trying to undermine each other, but maintaining sufficient balance of power that no one could just snowball and destroy the others. So like when France is getting strong, Britain and France would ally. Or they couldn't ally, they were rivals. That was one of the big impacts of the rival system, is you couldn't really pick on the others, although they constantly picked on me. Like Britain and Spain didn't go to war once during that entire thing, but the threat of war was always there. And having talked to Igel afterwards, apparently that did actually change a couple of his strategies, particularly in like how overt he was being globally, because he knew that Britain could just hamstring him, and that's why he had a more European-centric methodology. So that was that one. Then we had the Saga of the Titans, which was Denmark, Sweden, Norway. It was cooperative. But we were all playing Norse, so it was with a mod, and basically meant that the whole world hated us because we were Norse and technically pagans. And then we had the War of the Titans, which was Hearts of Iron 4, where I was playing as the UK, Bussy was playing as Germany, and Igel was the Soviet Union. The Soviets, when they went to war with Germany, lasted an episode and a half. It was pathetic. And that kind of screwed up my own plans as the UK, because I was planning to just sit in the British Isles and just bomb the living daylights out of Berlin. But because the Soviets fell so quickly, they got the whole of Russia and all of Russia's industry, and I just couldn't hold against that. So it was a much shorter series than I had expected. But next up will be Kaiserreich, hopefully. Okay, the new Council of Princes. Excellent. So we get a new focus, which is going to be Unite the Princes. Remove heads of government ideas from princely federations. We get the Prince election. The position of Diwan will be restricted solely to the princes themselves, the agreement that the reforms will continue to organise and centralise the government. And then after that, a new federation. Marvellous. And we could theoretically modify the government again. Renewed loyalties. While the princes of southern India have always shown loyalty to the Nizam, not all of them have contributed their full forces to the Federation's defence, holding back some just in case it came to a showdown with Hyderabad over the Council's authority. With the reforms being finalised, however, confidence in the Federation's direction is at an all-time high, and thus the princes have agreed to contribute even more than they have previously. Okay, that's just not loading the tooltips, so they gave us troops. They gave us a lot of troops. Oh, get in! Including some of the artillery guys. And some more level 2 cavalry. Fantastic. Royal Guard of the House of Mysore and the Kombinder's house. Sweet. Everyone else is still in training. You guys are almost done. I would really like to spend some points on... I'm probably going to upgrade infantry too, because we've decided we're going artillery heavy thanks to all the tungsten that we have. Let me just double check how much we actually have. Yeah, we have a lot of tungsten. So we should probably start actually building some artillery. How much does one artillery cost in terms of steel? Same amount as infantry equipment. Okay. Right. And yes, we have that. It's just the political thing that we can do. The only reason Bussy won was because he got France and the powerful French forces. I held France longer than I expected I would. I made a couple of blunders with the French. Namely, not focusing enough on the Italians. And he never went through Benelux. This was all done through Maginot. It was actually the fall of the Alps which kind of sealed the deal for France. Construction 2. Excellent. So now we can go and grab something else. I'm thinking we probably want to upgrade our artillery though. Seeing as we will be focusing upon that. Let's do it. And it is now 12:30. I'm probably going to be going for... Let's see, I need to get 4 hours of this done minimum. We were half an hour late, so call it an hour done. So I need another 3 hours, so I'll be going until probably about 4 AM. So I'm going to take a 10-minute break right now because the unthinkable has happened, especially playing as India. The tea's gone. Where's the tea gone? Well, the tea's gone because I was recording for 3 hours before this. So I'm going to go and grab some tea. That will take me roughly 10 minutes. I'll also wolf down some Doritos or something. So don't go anywhere. I will be back in about 10 minutes.